What if a small act of kindness, something you did every day without thinking, was actually a test? A test that could change your entire life. This is the story of a woman named Priya, and it will make you believe in miracles again. 20 years ago, Priya was nothing. She had no money, no home, no family. She was just a young girl with a broken heart and empty hands, walking the streets of the city at night looking for any place to sleep, any place to hide from the world that had forgotten her. But then she found something, not a place, not money. She found purpose. It was a small orphanage. On a quiet street with broken windows and peeling paint, the building looked like it was dying. Just like Priya felt inside. The woman who ran it was old and tired. Her name was Mama Sheila. She had been taking care of abandoned children for 30 years, children with no one, children like Priya. "Can I help?" Priya asked that first day. Her voice was small, her hands were shaking. Mama Sheila looked at her for a long time, then she smiled. "Yes, child," she said. "Help me feed the little ones." That day changed everything. Priya started working at the orphanage. She got paid almost nothing, a tiny room, simple food. That was all, but for the first time in her life, Priya felt needed. She woke up early. Before sunrise, she cleaned the rooms, she cooked food for the children, she taught them to read. She sang them songs at night, she held them when they cried, and the children loved her. There was one child, especially a boy named Arjun. He was only 4 years old when Priya first met him. His mother had left him at the orphanage gate in a basket with a note that said nothing. Nothing at all, no name, no date, no reason, just silence. Arjun was a lonely boy. He did not talk much. He did not play with the other children. He just sat in the corner looking out the window, waiting for someone, waiting for his mother. But Priya saw something in him that others did not see. She saw potential. She saw a future. She saw love trying to break free every day. Priya would sit next to Arjun. She would tell him stories. Stories about brave princes and magical forests. Stories about mothers who searched the world for their lost children. Stories about hope. And slowly, very slowly, Arjun began to smile. He began to talk. He began to laugh. He called her Priya Auntie and held her hand everywhere she went. "Will you be my mother?" He asked her one day. His eyes were so big, so full of hope. Priya's heart broke into 1,000 pieces. "I am your mother," she said, "not by blood, but by love always." And she meant it, every single word. Years passed like this. Priya raised Arjun like he was her own son. She worked hard every single day. She took any job she could find during the day. She cared for the children at the orphanage at night. She worked as a cleaner in big houses. Her hands became rough, her body became tired, but she never complained, because Arjun was growing into a beautiful boy. He was intelligent, he was kind, he had dreams. He wanted to be an artist. He loved to paint and draw. His teachers said he had special talent. "Priya Auntie, I will become a famous painter," he told her when he was 10 years old. "And I will buy you a big house, and you will never have to work again." Priya held him close. She cried happy tears into his hair. "I know you will, beta," she whispered. "I know you will." But life had other plans. Cruel plans. When Arjun was 12 years old, everything changed. A rich man came to the orphanage. His name was Mr. Sharma. He was a businessman, very successful, very powerful. He had money and connections and influence. He was also searching for an artist. He came to the orphanage to find street children, to teach them art and skills, to help them. He said to give them opportunities. But when he saw Arjun's paintings, his eyes lit up in a different way, not with kindness, but with hunger. "This boy has talent," he told Mama Sheila. "Raw, natural talent. I can take him, train him properly. He will become great." Priya's stomach went cold when she heard this. "No," she said immediately. "He stays here with us." Mr. Sharma looked at her like she was nothing, like she was dust. "You cannot stop this," he said calmly. "The boy will come with me. His future is too bright to waste in this place. He will stay." "Mama Sheila," said the old woman's voice was firm, but her hands were shaking. They both knew the truth. Without Mr. Sharma's help, without his money and influence, the orphanage would close. Many children would suffer. Many would die on the streets. It was an impossible choice that night. Priya sat with Arjun. She told him about Mr. Sharma's offer. She told him about the opportunity, about learning real art from real teachers, about having a future. "But I want to stay with you," Arjun said. He was crying. "I do not want to go." Priya held him. Her own tears fell silently onto his head. "You will go," she said quietly. "You will learn, you will become great, and one day you will come back. Do you understand?" One day you will come back to me, promise? He asked. I promise, she said, but in her heart she was not sure. 3 days later, Arjun left with Mr. Sharma. Priya watched him go from the orphanage gate. He turned back many times, his small hand waved goodbye. His eyes were red from crying. The car drove away and Arjun disappeared into the city. Priya did not know it then, but she would not see him again for the next 7 years, 7 long years of silence after Arjun left. Something died inside Priya. She continued to work, she continued to care for the other children, but her smile was fake. Now her heart was in pieces. Every night she would write letters to Arjun, long, beautiful letters telling him about the orphanage, about Mama Sheila, about the other children who asked for him, about her love for him, but she never sent a single letter. She did not know where he was. She did not have an address. Mr. Sharma had cut off all contact. He had made it very clear Arjun was his now, not hers. The years became a blur of pain and waiting. Then one day, when Arjun was 19 years old, Priya saw something on the news. There was a big art exhibition at the most famous museum in the city, and one of the featured artists was a young man named Arjun Sharma. Arjun Sharma, he had taken Mr. Sharma's last name. He was no longer Arjun from the orphanage, he was Arjun Sharma, a famous artist, a success. Priya's hands shook as she read the article. There was a photograph. It was really him, grown up now, handsome and confident, standing in front of a beautiful painting. She cut out the photo. She kept it close to her heart, but she did not go to the exhibition. How could she? She was nothing. He was someone now. He would not want to see her. He would be ashamed. So she did what she always did. She waited, and she hoped, and she hurt in silence. But fate, dear viewer, was about to intervene in the most unexpected way. 1 year later, on a cold winter morning, a letter arrived at the orphanage. Not a normal letter, but a fancy letter, with expensive paper sealed with wax. Mama Sheila opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a single sentence and an address. The sentence said, "Please come." The address was a mansion on the richest street in the city, the kind of place where kings lived, where dreams came true. Mama Sheila called Priya to her room. "This is for you," she said. She handed over the letter without explanation. Priya's hands went numb as she read it. She looked at the address. She recognized the handwriting immediately. Was Arjun's handwriting older now, more refined, but unmistakably his? But why? Why would he write to her now, after all these years? She had two choices. She could ignore the letter, stay safe in her small room, continue her small life, or she could go face the past, face what she had lost that Saturday morning. Priya dressed in her best clothes, the same clothes she had worn on the day she first met Arjun at the orphanage. They were worn now, faded, but clean. She took a bus across the city to the richest neighborhood, to a street she had never been to before, and there, at the end of the street, stood the mansion. It was like something from a dream. White marble walls, golden gates, beautiful gardens with fountains, tall columns, expensive cars in the driveway. Priya's heart was racing so fast she thought it would jump out of her chest. She walked to the gate. A security guard stopped her. "I am here to see Arjun Sharma," she said quietly. "He invited me." The guard checked a list, then he nodded. He opened the gate. Inside, everything was beautiful, expensive, shining. A woman in a uniform greeted her. A servant. Priya realized this boy now had servants. "Please follow me," the woman said. They walked through hallway after hallway, past paintings, past sculptures, past windows that showed impossible views. Then they stopped in front of a large room. "The young sir is waiting in the art gallery," the woman said. She opened the heavy wooden doors. Priya stepped inside. The room was enormous. White walls, soft lighting, and paintings. Hundreds of paintings, maybe thousands, but Priya saw only one person. Arjun stood in the center of the room with his back to her, looking at a painting on the wall. He was taller now, much taller. His shoulders were broader. He was a man, no longer a boy. "Priya, auntie," he said. He did not turn around. "You came." His voice was deeper now, but still familiar, still warm. Priya could not speak. Her throat was closed. Her eyes were full of tears. "I was not sure you would come," he continued. "I have been thinking about this day for so long, wondering what I would say, how I would explain everything." He turned to face her, and when she saw his eyes, she knew that he had not forgotten. He remembered her. He remembered them. "Come," he said gently. "I want to show you something." He took her hand, and it felt like that moment 7 years ago, when he was a small boy saying goodbye. He led her to the center of the gallery and stopped in front of a large painting. It was a portrait of a woman. A young woman with tired eyes and gentle hands. The woman was holding a small boy. Embracing him, protecting him, the woman was Priya and the boy was Arjun. But how? How could this painting exist? Priya had never been here. Arjun had never painted her from memory, had he? This is my first painting, Arjun said softly. The first thing I painted after Mr. Sharma took me away. I was heartbroken. I was so lost I did not want to be there. I only wanted to be with who. He pointed to the painting. So I painted this from memory. I painted the only thing that mattered to me, the person who loved me when I was nobody. Priya's legs felt weak. She reached out and touched the painting as if she could touch herself through time, touch the past. Why did you bring me here? She whispered, because I needed you to know. Arjun said. His voice was shaking now. He was crying. I needed you to know that everything I became for you. Every painting I made, every success, every moment I wanted to give up. I thought of you. I thought of your kindness, your sacrifice. He paused. He looked into her eyes. And I wanted to ask you something. Priya, auntie, the most important question of my life. Arjun led Priya to another part of the gallery, a private room, filled with paintings and drawings, but these paintings were different. All of them were of Priya, hundreds of them from every angle. In every emotion, Priya. Sleeping Priya, working Priya, holding children. Priya crying, Priya laughing. Arjun had painted her face thousands of times. I have been looking for you, he said, for years after I left the orphanage. I realized that Mr. Sharma had not told you anything. He had cut off your contact. He was ashamed that I came from an orphanage. He wanted me to be his success story, but I was nobody without you. He took both of her hands. So I started my career. I became a famous painter. I made money, and then I searched for you. It took me 2 years, but I found you. I found you still at the orphanage, still working, still caring for children who had nothing. Priya was shaking, now crying and shaking. Why did you not come sooner? She asked. Because I was not worthy. Arjun said, I needed to become someone first. I needed to prove that your sacrifice meant something, that your love was not wasted. He released her hands. He pulled out a document, official, legal, with stamps and signatures. This is a deed, he said, to this house, and I want you to have it. Priya could not breathe, could not think. No. Beta, no, she said. This is too much. I do not need this. Let me finish. Arjun said. His eyes were shining with tears. I do not just want you to have a house. I want you to understand something I realized when I became successful. He led her to the wall, to a quote written in beautiful calligraphy. A mother is not someone who gives birth to you. A mother is someone who loves you when the world has forgotten you. You are my mother. Arjun said, not because you raised me, but because you loved me. You loved me when I was nothing, when the world said I was worthless. You gave me hope. You gave me a reason to fight. But then Arjun took Priya to one more room. This room was different. It was more personal. It had photographs on the walls. Photographs of Priya and Arjun together from the orphanage. From years ago. How did these photographs exist? Who had taken them? These are from Mama Sheila, Arjun explained. She sent them to me every year. She would send me pictures, letters, updates about you. Mr. Sharma did not know. She kept our connection alive. Then he showed her something else. It was a file, a thick file, pages and pages. This is information I found, Arjun said, about your past before you came to the orphanage. Priya's heart stopped. No, she whispered, no. Please, I do not want to know. The past is painful. But Arjun was not cruel. He did not force her to read it. He just held her hand. Your mother did not abandon you because she did not love you. He said, she abandoned you because she had to. She was sick. She was poor. She could not feed you. Every day she watched you starve. Every day her heart broke. Finally, she made the hardest decision of her life. She left you at the orphanage, where she knew someone would take care of you, where you would be safe, where you would have a chance. Tears fell from Priya's eyes like rain. She died 3 years later, Arjun continued. But before she died, she left a letter. She left money, and she left it all to you. It was in a bank account, waiting, hidden, because she wanted you to grow up, to become strong, to be able to handle the truth. He handed her a key to a safety deposit box. This money has been waiting for you for 15 years. Arjun said, your mother's love has been waiting for you all this time, but wait, this is not the end of the story because there is one more truth. One that nobody knew, not even Priya. Arjun took her to the portrait one more time, the painting of them together in the orphanage. Do you remember this day? He asked. Do you remember when I asked you if you would be my mother? Priya nodded. Of course she remembered. It was the most important day of her life. I did not tell you the full truth, Arjun said that day. When I asked you that question, I was not really a lost boy. I was not really waiting for my mother. Priya looked confused. What do you mean? She asked. I mean, Arjun said slowly, that Mama Sheila knew who my mother was and she knew where my mother was. He paused. He looked directly into Priya's eyes. Mama Sheila knew that you were my mother. Priya, your own mother, left you with Mama Sheila, but before she died, she asked Mama Sheila to find you, to reunite you with me. I was left at the orphanage on purpose. To find you. Priya's world stopped spinning. No. She said, that is not possible. That is not true. It is true. Arjun said. He pulled out another document, an official one. Your DNA and mine, we are connected. Priya, we are connected by blood. I am not your adopted son. Arjun said softly, I am your biological son. Mama Sheila was going to tell you when you were ready, but then Mr. Sharma came and everything changed. But the truth remained the same. You are my mother. Not my auntie, not my guardian. My mother. Priya fell to her knees. 7 years of pain. 7 years of separation, 7 years of not knowing, and the whole time they were mother and son. The orphanage had not just been a place where Arjun was brought up, it was where Priya's own mother had brought her and left her, and before she died, she had arranged for her grandson to be left there too, so that Priya would not be alone, so that there would be another generation, another chance. It was a plan of love, a plan that took years, that required sacrifice, that required faith. Arjun held his mother, really held her, not as an auntie, but as a son holds his mother. I am sorry, he whispered. I am sorry for the pain, but Mama Sheila thought it was important for you to earn my love, to know that you loved me not because we shared blood, but because of who you are. It does not matter. Priya said. She was crying so hard she could barely speak. It does not matter. I loved you from the first moment, whether you were my blood or not. I loved you. I know, Arjun said, and that is why you are the most beautiful person I have ever known. The next day, Priya did something she thought she would never do. She left the orphanage after 20 years. She left, but she did not leave it empty. She left it better. Because Arjun had given her money, her mother's money and her son's love, and they built something together, a new orphanage, a bigger one, better, with proper schools, with art classes, with hope. And Priya became its director, not out of need, but out of choice, because she understood now. She understood that her pain had a purpose. Her sacrifice had meant something. Her love had created a legacy. 1 year later, Arjun's paintings were displayed in galleries all over the world, but the most famous painting was still the same one, the portrait of a woman and a child beneath. The painting was a quote written by Arjun himself. To my mother, who loved me when I had nothing, who gave me everything by asking for nothing, who showed me that the greatest art in the world is not on canvas. It is the art of kindness, the art of sacrifice, the art of love that never ends. But there is one more thing, one final twist that will make your heart completely break. 20 years later, long after Priya had become successful, after she had helped thousands of children, after she had found peace, she received a visit, a young woman in her 30s, with eyes that looked so familiar. My name is Divya, the woman said. I was born at the orphanage. I was one of the children you raised. You probably do not remember me. I was very sick. Everyone thought I would die. Priya stared at this woman, and then suddenly she remembered Divya, a tiny girl crying from fever. Priya had nursed her for weeks, had stayed up all night, had given her own food so Divya could eat, had sung her lullabies. Divya! Priya cried. She embraced the woman. My baby girl. You remember? You came back? I came back to tell you something. Divya said. Tears were streaming down her face. I became a doctor because of you, because you saved my life, and I wanted to thank you, but more than that, I want to tell you something. She took Priya's hand the day you found me. The day you decided to care for me instead of letting me die. You did not know it, but you changed the entire world because I have saved hundreds of lives as a doctor because of your kindness. I was able to live and help others. Your love did not stop at me, it rippled out. It touched thousands of people. It created a chain of compassion that continues to this day. Priya collapsed into tears because she finally understood a small act of kindness is never just small. It is never just one moment. It is a seed that grows, that multiplies, that becomes something bigger than we can ever imagine. So what was the test? The test mentioned at the beginning of this story? The test was not about becoming famous. It was not about getting rich. It was not about being rewarded. The test was simple. The test was this: would Priya love a child who had nothing when she herself had nothing? The answer was yes. She loved unconditionally. She loved without hope of reward. She loved because it was who she was, and that love changed everything today. Whenever Arjun is interviewed by journalists, they ask him about his success, about his fame, about his paintings, but he always says the same thing. I did not become successful because I am talented. I became successful because someone believed in me when I believed in nothing. Someone loved me when I believed I was unlovable. And that belief, that love, that is the true art. That is the masterpiece that cannot be bought or sold. That is the only thing that matters, dear viewer. I hope this story has touched your heart. I hope it reminds you that you're small. Acts of kindness are never small. They are never unimportant. They are seeds, and seeds grow into forests, into lives saved, into futures created. You never know when you are being tested. You never know when your love will change someone's life forever. You never know when your sacrifice will create a legacy that lasts generations. So be kind, always be kind to the person on the street, to the child who seems lost, to the worker who seems sad, to anyone who seems forgotten, because you never know. You might be changing their entire future. You might be the reason they survive. You might be the reason they believe in themselves. Priya was just a poor girl with nothing to give, but she gave love, and that love became everything. And somewhere in a gallery in a city across the world, that painting still hangs, the portrait of a mother and son separated by time, reunited by love, and below it, the words that Arjun wrote for his mother. You asked me if I would be your son, but the truth is, you made me who I am. You are not just my mother, you are my inspiration, you are my reason, you are my greatest work of art. This is the story of Priya and Arjun and a love that could never be broken. Remember it, share it, let it change you, because we are all paintings in someone else's story. We are all waiting to be discovered. We are all hoping that someone will see us, really see us, and love us anyway, and maybe, just maybe, you are the one who will love them.